Brought to you by Mr. Pros TV, streaming from Tempe, Arizona. And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Jordan Nielsen here, host of Real Estate Pros on Mr. Pros TV, and today we're in studio in Tempe, Arizona, and we are here with Jon Musa of Remax Some Properties out in Fountain Hills. Welcome to the show, Jon. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day and joining me here on Real Estate Pros.
Thank you, Jordan. It's a real pleasure to be here. I enjoy the services your company does. I get the best professional photography from your guys. They're always on time. They show up. They're polite. And when my partner, my wife Sherry, does all the editing and puts them all together, they're very workable about, if we need something else, you guys are always on time.
Nice.
I got to plug you guys.
Nice. I appreciate the plug. And awesome. So we'll give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. Jon, let's talk a little bit about how long you've been in real estate, what interested you in getting into this business, and we'll go from there.
All right, Jon Musa.
I'm terrible with names.
No sweat. Yeah. It happens once. Been in the real estate business for about 8 years now.
Okay.
I have been in lots of different businesses where I've interacted and helped people making decisions. My first career was insurance.
Okay.
I did that until I retired after about 20 years in it. At that point, I decided I really enjoyed investments, and I owned and managed a investment management company. And the economy changed, business changes, and it was my wife actually that got me into the real estate business.
Really?
She and I have 5 wonderful children together. Actually, none your age.
See, none my age.
Right.
We confirmed that previously. I said, you can't be old enough to be my dad. My dad is a little older than you.
But as our children grew, and she was doing it part-time, and I'm looking, going, hey, this is kind of cool. You go out, and she was probably selling 4 or 5 houses a year.
Uh-huh.
And I love marketing.
Sure, yeah.
As you can probably tell, I enjoy meeting people.
Yeah.
And I'm good with multiple transactions. So our first year in the business, I think with me coming on as a rookie, we did like 17, 18 deals.
Really?
Which is kind of average.
Yeah, that's pretty good. As if you came in, what did you say, 8 years ago, like 2010?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then probably after that, just things have gotten better and better and better. And we have done very well. Really enjoy my relationship with Remax, and I've got a pretty solid system.
Sure.
When it comes down to meeting buyers and sellers.
Awesome. So let's talk about Remax. Why, there's probably hundreds of brokerages here in the Valley. Yeah. Why did you choose to go with Remax and Some Properties in Fountain Hills?
Well, major big name, number one. Number two, the gentleman that runs the company, my broker, Mike Neighbors, is just a real easygoing guy. But yet he's always got our back. If we ever have a problem, I go right to him. And with 40-plus years in the business, he's seen everything, done everything, and knows everything.
Yeah. Well, that's good to have somebody like that in your corner. Yeah. When you run into the, not really bumps, but there's real estate transactions where you think it's a smooth transaction. That probably happens maybe 10% of the time.
Exactly.
And then
there's an opportunity to learn.
The 90%, yeah, you always learn something new. There's always something that going on the financing side or inspection side. Oh, let's figure this one out. But
exactly.
Yeah, it's nice to have somebody that has a whole lot of experience in your corner. So let's talk about, what is your setup at Some Properties? You and your wife work together?
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I'm on the outside. I love to be in the houses, in front of the people. A guy told me, or one of my best mentors reminded me, Jon, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should use them accordingly. So when I meet a buyer, I take the time to find out what they really want, what's going to work for them.
Sure.
And then we have to fit that into a budget. So the only way you're ever going to find out about that is you've got to show them some options. And then you've got to be bright enough to think, what if that's almost there, then I can have something better. And you're always looking for the best fit for your buyer. And once you find it, that's when the work begins. Because up until that point, I'm Vanna White.
Right.
Hey, door number 1, door number 2. When you walk into a house, you know, you can look up at the ceiling, you can look at the foundation, you can look at if it's a flip, if it was done right. You know, I walked into a house today and first impression, boy, that's beautiful floor. It looks like, as I got closer, it was just some cheesy laminate. And this is an older couple. They want a nice home.
Sure.
So as I explained that to them, they went, "Oh, John, good eye." So
Yeah.
you just help people.
Yeah, absolutely. So why did you choose to? Because Fountain Hills is a unique community. It's very cool. It has a fountain and how it works. Why did you choose to reside in Fountain Hills? How long have you lived there? And
17 years.
So 17 years. So you're very familiar with the area. Is that the area that you primarily focus on in real estate, or do you venture out much?
Not at all. The way I ended up in Fountain Hills is through my wife. I was living in Scottsdale. I went over that hill to Eagle Mountain Golf Course.
Oh, yeah.
Was playing golf, and just have fallen in love with the community because it's close enough that I can be in Scottsdale in 20 minutes to the 101. And from the 101 north or south, I can be anywhere in the valley. And the way I got down here today, I was showing property in Fountain Hills. I just shot down the 87.
Yeah.
So I can be at the airport in 30 minutes. I can be in Payson in, an hour.
Right.
I could be in the White Mountain snow
It is a very nice location because I always drive by. I'm like, man, if I lived in Fountain Hills, because we go to Payson sometimes, it's like much quicker. And we got Bush Highway over here, which is whatever.
Well, it's a real secret.
Yeah.
I have listings currently in Scottsdale. I've had, I've been in the valley 40 plus years.
Wow.
So I've seen Buckeye. I do listings in San Valley. There isn't much in this valley I haven't seen. So if I met you as a young man, and I'm thinking, you're married or single or whatever, and you're looking for the right mix, I might meet you in Scottsdale and take you to Fountain Hills.
Right.
But if I met you in Fountain Hills, I might, talk to you, find out a little bit more about you, and take you to maybe a cooler, hipper place where a 35-year-old young guy, good looking,
Yeah, right.
Want to be out in the mud.
We have one thing in common,
Mine's my choice.
Yes,
yeah. I was afraid you were going to ask me about my hair products.
So let's talk a little bit about your
Yeah.
business. We know, when you got into the business, what were surprises when you got into the real estate business? 8 years ago.
Okay.
That was kind of a heavy REO
very much
business.
so.
So your business has probably changed a bit.
Tremendously.
Yeah.
At that point in time, we would load people up in a bus, take them around to our REO properties, decide which ones we wanted to buy, and write contracts. And then as that slowly went away, the people that came in and bought 11 and 12 and 13 were either very, very lucky or very, very smart.
Right.
Because they're the ones right now in 2018 that have got 40 to 50% equity in their home.
Right,
Depending on where they bought.
That was and there was a lot of equity in a lot of those houses.
A lot of things disappeared. But I will tell you, as we look at the current market, we're now in a healthy market where we're seeing about a 6% year-over-year growth. The big spike was probably 12 to 13 to 14, and then things have begun to level out. So if anyone's worried about a bubble, I don't have a crystal ball, never have done too much voodoo or any of that, none. Okay, but I would say right now we're in a pretty good place.
Yeah,
and interest rates are low. So if you're a buyer, you need to finance. Interest rates are 4.5, 5, and mortgage companies are now a little more back to a real world qualification, if you understand, because it was,
they tightened it down really hard and made it hard for people.
Well,
now they're starting to loosen up a bit,
Do you have a pulse? You can qualify. That was then.
Yeah.
Then it was like, we want to see everything.
Sure.
And now it's more like, okay, you got a job, it looks good, you got good credit history, that looks good, you can probably qualify for a loan, and that helps.
Yeah. So what are some big drivers of your business now in 2018? We know that REO kind of faded away. Do you do a lot of open houses? Do you do cold calling? What are those activities that you do to drive your business forward?
Well, I do very well at open houses. My broker looked at me when I told him that 20% of my business comes from open houses. He says, nobody does that. So when I go into an open house, I make it an experience.
Sure.
So I bring every tool that I can so that I can not only explain the benefits of this property, but I'll have multiple properties there, on my screen and with my computer. I always travel with all my technology. In Fountain Hills, I carry this big map because people look at our little town and go, wow, there's a lot here. Well, there is a tremendous amount.
Sure.
Tell you where the fountain is and all the cool stuff in the different neighborhoods. But, I'm a veteran in Arizona, and I can tell you, that about any community. So
Right.
Wherever I am, I make the most of it.
So ultimately, why do people decide to go hire you and your wife to represent them as a buyer's agent or a seller's agent? What makes you different than an agent down the street?
Well, first, she's really cute. Held up the wrong side. Yeah.
I noticed that you were always prepared. He came in here just from showings, and I said, man, this dude is ready to go. He had his super key, and he's ready, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
I call it a standard of care. Okay? So you've probably had a first date, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what made you go to that second date?
I mean, the experience, if it was decent.
Exactly, right? So, we have our first date, we talk, and people don't really care what you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
So if you care and you put that out there and you show them and you're willing to show up and go to work and be on time for an appointment. I'm sorry I was a little late today, but I was on time. Normally I'm 15 minutes ahead. They get a sense that you actually care and you're actually qualified to lead them. Because buying a home, man, it's like maybe a once in every 7-year experience.
Sure, yeah.
You buy the wrong place because your realtor didn't explain some things to you, you can be unhappy for a long time.
Absolutely.
And I tell people, you're going to buy this. I'm going to leave. You're going to be living here. I want to make sure this is the right home for you and your family. And maybe, what's your time horizon? Are you going to be here 5 years, 10 years? Are you going to buy this to rent? So listen. That's what sets us apart. And this lady right here, quite the negotiator.
Yeah. She stays behind the scenes negotiating like crazy for the client.
Sugar and spice.
Sugar and spice.
That's
all right.
us, yeah.
Nice. So you're getting John out and then his wife back negotiating the heck out of getting the best deals for his clients. I love it.
Exactly. Well, we work together on, just about everything. But I do enjoy, my part of it is showing the properties, meeting the buyers, going through the Binzer process, the inspections, the backup inspections.
Mm-hmm.
You can find out a lot about a house with a primary inspection. But the inspectors are only they're doing the face value. They don't invade. They don't ever open anything up.
Mm.
So it's just like an attorney, right? If you have a suspect situation, you got to go deeper.
Right.
When you go deeper, you find out a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So advice for new agents starting in 2018. What advice would you give to a brand new agent? Because we know it oftentimes is a struggle, your first year, 6 months to a year. What would you say to a new agent starting out, to get started on the right foot and to be able to find that success, to be able to sustain a career in real estate?
Don't be afraid to make any mistakes because you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Realize you don't even know what you don't even know because there's so much out there. Get a good coach, and it's real easy. All you got to do is work half days. There's only 12 hours in a half day. So get up early.
Got to work.
Get a lot done in between. And take care of yourself, Don't let yourself become that agent that just goes so hard. You can go hard for 4 or 5 months, and then at the end of it, you're burnt out.
Right.
You don't like your clients. You're mad because you get this one listing that you can't do. No. No, look inside. Think about what you could be doing to make it better. And take a little time off, Don't work every day. Heck, yesterday I went and saw a spring training game. I was only out for about 3 hours. I worked in the morning, spent some time with my wife, and went and did an inspection wrap-up. It was a great day.
Yeah.
Just a little bit time for yourself.
All right. So kind of be a little bit balanced,
Exactly.
And find the things that, it's important to find the things that you can sustainably do, Otherwise you turn like what you said, you get burned out after that 4 months of going really hard.
Yeah.
Definitely. Awesome. So, John, if somebody watching this is interested in buying or selling a home in the Fountain Hills area or surrounding areas, how do people get a hold of you, John?
602-319-7725. That's my cell phone. I pick it up whenever I get a call.
Is that you or your wife?
That's just me.
All right.
Yeah, I try to pick up. Or you can text me. Or you can email me at jon@live, F as in fountain, H as in hills.com, livefh.com. That's also our website, www.livefh.com. If you go onto that and register, that will open you up to a full MLS search. Forget about Zillow. They're about 6 months behind. You might find a house there and it's
already sold. It's gone. Yeah, that is true.
So I give that as a gift to every person I meet. Hey, if you're looking for a house, let me help you the right way. And just because you're using my website doesn't mean I'm going to call you every day. You ready to buy? You ready to buy? No. You're ready to buy when you're ready to buy.
Right.
And then after that, I'll get you qualified. I'll hook you up with one of my lenders that works just like me, 7 days a week, all day long, because they work on commission.
All right. Awesome, John. So livefh.com. Thanks again for taking time out of your busy day, John, and joining me today on Real Estate Pros. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
See you at your home.
Yep. Thanks.